The Tour du Mont Blanc is one of the best treks in the world, and I'm getting ready to do it for the second time. I'm gonna show you exactly how to pack to completely remove the stress from packing. So why should you listen to me? First off, look around me. You can tell that I seriously love gear. I love packing. I know that's crazy because most people don't. I've been doing treks like these for over 10 years, so I have a very curated list of my favorite backpacking items that I am going to share with you. And as part of my job with my company Travel Light, I also take people on these adventures. So it is literally my job to have a perfectly packed backpack. So this is exactly what I will be carrying with me on the TMB. The first thing that I'll show you, and one of the most important items that you will be carrying with you, is your backpack. This is an Osprey Exos 48-liter backpack. I have been hiking with this since 2015, so 10 years at this point. It is like my best little buddy. I've taken it all over the world on all different lengths of trips, all the way up to the Camino de Santiago, which was my longest hike at 45 days, and down to 2 to 3 night backpacking trips. So I find that the 48-liter size works really, really well for me. Of course, they do not make this exact pack anymore, but you can find this pack behind me. This is the men's version of the Osprey Exos 48. That just came out. I think that's a 2024 or maybe even a 2025 edition of that pack. You can see that the frame of it is a lot longer. This one, the old one, and also the women's one, is shorter, and it fits really well in the overhead bin. So this is a carry-on item for me. I have a carry-on and a personal item. This bag, surprisingly, even though it looks a lot longer, it also almost always fits in the overhead bin. The first category that we're going over is general gear items. The first item I want to show you is this little backpack. So this is a 16-liter 4-monster backpack. That's the brand. I bought it on Amazon. It's around $20, and I bring this on every trip that I go on because when I get to the refugio at the end of the night, I take my most important items and I put them in this little backpack. So that would be a bottle of water, sunscreen, chapstick, my buff, cards, my sunglasses, anything that I want to use to be just kind of hanging out around the refugio. Also, on our rest day in Courmayeur, we're going to a spa. So this will be my little backpack that I have with me for the entire trek, and it really comes in handy. This Sea to Summit towel, it's a quick dry towel. The size is large. It's 24 by 48 inches. I love this thing. It is the smallest towel that I've ever had. I'm gonna just open it up to show ya. It's a little like you wouldn't really want to like walk around the hallways in it kind of thing, but it's perfect for drying off and for just being an ultralight towel option for a trek like this. This is my Sea to Summit silk sleeping bag liner. A lot of the refugios require you to have a liner, and it's just a way to be a little more clean and comfortable in the refugios. This silk one is the lightest weight one that I have. It's also so cozy. It adds a lot of comfort at night. The other models that they make are great, but they are a lot heavier. So if you're looking for an ultralight liner option, get a silk one. Continuing on one of my favorite topics, which is sleep. I have this eye mask. This is an eye mask that I buy on Amazon. I lose them sometimes, so I've bought several, but I keep buying the same one because it's so comfortable. It's not the most lightweight option, but it's also not heavy. And I totally recommend splurging on this so that you can get great sleep, which is so important for your trek. The other item that gives me really great sleep at night are these Max earplugs. Both of these items I get on Amazon. These are silicone earplugs. You push them into your ears and they really do a great job of blocking out sound. They are the best earplugs that I have found. They got me through sleeping in dorms for 45 days on the Camino de Santiago. So these are very important to me to carry. These and all of the items that I'm going to mention in this video can be found in the link in the description. This is an often overlooked but really simple and important item. So these are different types of bags. I have a couple of Ziploc bags and a kitchen-sized trash bag. The trash bag is what I use to line the inside of my backpack. If we're going to have a particularly rainy day, you can line your backpack, put all of your stuff inside the trash bag, tie it at the top, and that just gives you an extra water barrier in addition to your waterproof backpack cover. I also have various sizes of Ziploc bags. Those always come in handy for different toiletries. And then I have a grocery bag that I typically use for collecting my dirty clothes. This is my waterproof backpack cover. It's an REI brand one that I have had for a very long time. This is a super necessary item. You do not want your backpack and all of your stuff getting wet if you get caught in a rainstorm. I'm also bringing a headlamp. Now, this is something that I'm really just taking for safety reasons. I do not plan on hiking before the sun comes up or after the sun goes down on the Tour du Mont Blanc, but it's something that always makes me feel a little bit safer just to have in the off chance that I am out in the dark and I need to see. This is an Energizer brand one. It is not ultra light. There are some really, really cool ultra light headlamps at REI that I have just not invested in yet. But I like this one because it's cheap and it is rechargeable, so you don't have to change batteries. This is my sitting pad. This is just the weirdest little thing that I never knew I needed, but I got it in the Decathlon that is in Chamonix that you can visit before you start your Tour de Mont Blanc. It was super cheap. I mean, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 euros. When you need it, it is just the greatest little thing to have. It can give you just some more comfort when you stop and eat lunch and maybe you're in the middle of a field and you don't really want to sit right on the grass. You want a little cushion. Give yourself just a nice little rest break. So what I do when I am eating lunch on something like the Tour de Mont Blanc is I'm sitting on my sitting pad. You probably can't see it. I'm sitting on my sitting pad and I am putting my backpack behind me as kind of like a chair rest. And then I'm just eating a sandwich in the most beautiful place in the world, being super comfy, which you deserve because those hills are tough. It weighs almost nothing, so treat yourself to a sitting pad. This is my luggage scale. I am not taking this on the Tour de Mont Blanc, but I wanted to show it to you guys because it is an important tool to know how much your backpack weighs. My backpack usually weighs around 17 or 18 pounds with water in it, so I always like to check myself, even though I've done this dozens of times. I like to check the weight just to make sure I'm not gonna get out there and realize that my pack weighs 25 pounds, like, oh shoot, I way overpacked for this trek. Invest in a luggage scale. This is on Amazon for 12 to 14 bucks, and it's just a piece of gear that's really, really handy to have with you. Hiking poles. This is something that for whatever reason people really debate, and I guess I get it because I didn't used to be a hiking poles person until I was, and now I'm like, what was I even doing? Trekking without hiking poles. These are actually Decathlon. They're the 4 Class 500. So again, when you are in Chamonix, you will have the ability to purchase these poles for 50 euros or less, maybe even 40 euros. And one cool trick that I wanted to show you guys I have learned from doing this several times is to bring something like a rubber band or like a little something you can tie around your trekking poles, because so many people are going to have these exact same poles as you. And when you put your poles, sometimes you put your poles in like this community bin and then you don't know which ones were yours and somebody else might accidentally take your poles. I've seen this happen so many times. So find a way, just like your luggage when you check it at the airport, find a way to distinguish your poles like this rubber band so that you can keep your same trekking poles throughout the whole trip. Let's talk about water. There are plenty of water sources along the Tour de Mont Blanc. There are lots of these like cute little public water fountains set up where you can get potable water. So I bring a CamelBak with me so that it goes in my backpack and I have access to drink water while I walk. Some people don't really think that this is a worthwhile piece of gear to bring, but I think it's totally a personal preference thing. For me, I don't like having to stop and ask somebody around me, hey, can you get my water bottle out of my bag? And I also don't want to take my bag off, get my bottle out, drink, and put it back. I like to stay really hydrated and drink a lot of water, so I always bring my CamelBak. I'm also taking this Katadyn Be-Free bottle. So this is a water filter. So I could drink water from anywhere, even like a river, with this water bottle. I don't plan on having to use this on the Tour de Mont Blanc, but I do bring it with me for emergency situations. And then my handy little platypus is my final water item. So this is a 1 liter bottle. And when I get to the refugios, I obviously don't want to be drinking out of a hose from my backpack. So I get this filled up with water when I get there. And then when I'm hanging around the refugio, I am drinking from this. You can buy this at REI, and I love them because they are reusable. I reuse them for several years. You can fill them up, but when they are not full, they are really foldable and packable, so you can even stick that in your pocket or stick it in your backpack when you're finished drinking. Another thing you can do that is really an equally good option is to just buy a water bottle when you get to France, a plastic water bottle, and continue to reuse and refill that bottle throughout your trek. Sunglasses. Don't forget your sunglasses. These are Goodr, G-O-O-D-R. They are sold at REI for around $25, and I find that they are the best quality and price sunglasses on the market. And of course, a wide brim hat. This is important to keep the sun off of your face. You're gonna be in direct sunlight for several hours of a day on the Tour de Mont Blanc, and having a cute little hat like this that'll keep the sun out of your face, it's just gonna make you a lot more comfortable. A buff is one of my favorite pieces of gear that I travel with, and since I discovered this half-size buff, This is what I take on all of my treks that are in warmer weather. So you can wear it around your neck, you can pull it up around your face if you're cold, or if you just want to keep the sun off of your neck. And my favorite usage is wearing it as a headband, because it keeps all the little flyaway hairs from blowing in my face while I'm hiking. And a beanie. You can also take a warm headband if you don't want to take a beanie, but I love this. It's KUHL brand. It's a merino wool beanie, so it's super warm and cozy. I don't plan on wearing this at all while I'm hiking on the TMB, but in the evenings at the refugios when it cools down a lot, I think it'll be nice to have. Our next category is clothing. This is where you need to be very careful because it's so easy to overpack for something like this. So listen to my instructions. I'm going to tell you exactly what clothing you need. 2 t-shirts. Shirts are one of the easiest things to overpack on because you think, if you're doing the full TMB, you're thinking, well, I'm gonna be gone for 12 days, so I should bring, I don't know, 5 shirts? Absolutely not. You do not need 5 shirts for the TMB. 2 t-shirts, maximum. If you're really ultralight, you can probably get by with 1 t-shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts for trekking. I take these on every trip. This is the Patagonia Capilene t-shirt, and they sell them at REI. I love it because I can wear it for several days in a row without it getting too stinky. And they make them in several colors, like a lot of colors, so you can pick your favorite. And my other shirt is KUHL brand, KUHL. This is sold at REI or on the KUHL website, and this is their cashmerino shirt. This shirt is like pure luxury. If you want the nicest shirt that is not going to get stinky for several days, this is gonna be your best bet. 1 long sleeve shirt. This is the REI brand. I think it's called Sahara something or another, but it's a hoodie and long sleeves, and this is great for the evenings when it's a little bit chillier, or the mornings when it's chilly and you just want to kind of have some long sleeves when you start walking. And this is a great protector from the sun. One of my friends took this on our first TMB trip, and she wore this every single day. I mean, even in the heat of July going uphill, she was wearing long sleeves because it's really important for her to protect her skin. So she chose this REI one that they are still making this one. It's very popular. They make it in several colors. So 1 long sleeve. 1 puffy or fleece. You could choose either a puffy or a fleece. It really doesn't matter. It's just whatever you have that is most comfortable to you. This is my KUHL fleece that I just got this year, and it's one of my favorite, sorry, I don't want to block the mic, one of my favorite jackets that I have. I just think it's like kind of cute and stylish, and the sides come up, and it's also so cozy. The main purpose of the fleece is to wear it at night when you are in the refugios when it gets chilly, and also you're in the mountains, so you never know if there's going to be some freak snowstorm that blows through during your trek. Yes, even in July and August, it can happen. There was just a big snowstorm in July in the Alps. So make sure that you have a warm piece of gear, even if the forecast is looking great. For bottoms, 2 pairs of shorts. No more than that. And again, along with the t-shirts, if you are super ultralight, I bet you could do this whole trek with 1 pair of shorts. These are KUHL shorts. They are my favorite hiking shorts that I own. And these are a pair of Viore biker shorts. Both can be bought at REI. 1 pair of trekking pants. These are REI pants that sadly are not being made any longer, but I love them, and they're lightweight. You don't need a super thick, heavy pair of pants, just a lightweight pair of hiking pants that you can put on, again, in the evenings. During the day, when you're out on the trail, you're gonna be wearing shorts and a t-shirt or a long sleeve if you wanna protect your skin. But in the evenings, you're probably gonna wanna put on a pair of long pants and a jacket. 3 pairs of hiking socks. These are all Darn Tough brand. It's my favorite sock brand out there. And I want to show you these because they make this, like, I don't know if it's called like a quarter cut, but just a shorter hiking sock. And I really like this length, as well as their more traditional longer sock length. And real quick, I just want to mention that on our 5th day, we are going to arrive to Courmayeur, and we will have access to do laundry. So once we arrive there, we will do all of our laundry, and then all of our stuff will be clean to finish out our TMB. A swimsuit. This is important for our trip because during our rest day in Courmayeur, we are going to the spa. I'm so excited about this day. We're going to the spa, we're getting a massage, they have this big lunch buffet. I am so excited for that day, and for that we need a swimsuit. And there's also some alpine lakes that we swam in last time that I'm hoping I'm brave enough to get in this time because they are frigid, ice cold lakes. But mark my words, I'm telling you, YouTube, so that you can hold me accountable, I am swimming in the glacial lakes this time. And super important, a rain jacket. This is a cool brand rain jacket. No matter what kind of brand or rain jacket you get, just make sure that it's breathable, it's flexible, and that it's super waterproof. All of these clothes will go into these 2 REI packing cubes. The last 2 items for this category are my shoes and my sandals. So these are my Brooks Cascadia trail running shoes. You can tell that I get some usage out of these. The heels are all torn up, but the tread on them is still very good, so I'm taking them on the TMB. There's a ton of debate. Like if you look at the Facebook group for TMB or other YouTube videos, there's just all this debate about, should I wear hiking boots or should I wear trail running shoes? And the answer to this is whatever is most comfortable for you and what you're used to training in. If you're someone who just really wants that ankle support, then you probably want to go with a hiking boot. But if you're someone who doesn't need all that ankle support, I personally really prefer trail running shoes to hiking boots. I recommend going to your nearest REI, going to the shoe area and talking to the employee who is most versed in shoes, because they will be able to help you decide which pair is right for you. The best thing you can do is try on 5 at least pairs of shoes and boots. Take a lap around the store. These shoes should feel immediately comfortable to you. That's the most important thing. If they are not comfortable while you're walking around that store at REI, they're not going to get more comfortable over time. They should be comfortable right away. I might be over explaining shoe shopping. Of course, you know how to go shopping for shoes, but that's because people make such a big deal about this question online. And I want you to know that it's a very personal thing that you have to decide for yourself. And these are my sandals that I wear at night when I get to the Refugio. When you get to the Refugio, the first thing you want to do is take your shoes off. You want to take them off, you want to air them out, and you need something else to put on. I typically wear Tevas. Tevas are my favorite, but my pair of Tevas just broke, so I am wearing these Zero shoes for the time being. Next, I want to talk about what to bring in your toiletry bag. This is a Sea to Summit toiletry bag. And I love it because it has a hook on the inside so I can hang it. It's also really big, but also very lightweight. So let me show you what's inside. Dr. Bronner's soap. I am not bringing shampoo or conditioner because I just don't think it's worth the wait. And I'm pretty sure the place that we're staying in Courmayeur is going to offer that in the hotel room. Fingers crossed. If not, I'll figure it out. But I am taking a little bottle of Dr. Bronner's just as a body wash. And I could even use it to wash my hair if I want to. A comb. Don't take some giant brush, just take a small, ultra lightweight comb, an extra ponytail holder, and a clip for my hair, toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, all tiny size, face moisturizer in a tiny little container that I bought on Amazon, and my razor, regular chapstick, and sunscreen chapstick. Your lips can get sunburnt, so make sure you have some chapstick. This one has SPF 30 and it is Sun Bum. I love it, smells so good. They sell this at REI and on Amazon probably. The last thing that you want for your Tour du Mont Blanc is to get sick, but let's be real, because we're gonna be in refugios, sometimes in dorms, surrounded by people who have come from all around the world on planes to get there, and somebody's probably gonna be sick. So while we really hope that you don't have to use these items, I always take these and they always come in handy for someone in my groups. So that is daytime and nighttime cold and flu type of gels. And these I bought on Amazon. They're just the Amazon brand. And then cough drops can be a total lifesaver. Like if you have a cough and you have to go to bed and lay down without a cough drop, it can just sometimes be the worst thing in the world. So make sure that you have a little pocket full of cough drops with you. These are Strepsils. And you can also pick these up either in Chamonix or in Courmayeur. If somebody ends up getting sick, there will be pharmacies along the way. Ibuprofen and Tylenol, and also some kind of PM medicine like Tylenol PM or Advil PM. I get these little bottles on Amazon, and they're really lightweight and great for travel. Your muscles are probably gonna need some ibuprofen. I cannot stress enough how many hills there are on the TMB. You're going to climb the height of Mount Everest over the length of your TMB. So just bring some pain medicine. A first aid kit. Again, something that you hope that you won't need, but it has all kinds of handy little items in it, like alcohol wipes. Make sure you have plenty of Band-Aids. And this bandage tape always comes in handy for just different circumstances out on the trail. So make sure you have a little roll of bandage tape. A tube of hydrocortisone cream, because I have a fiance who is always scratching. And I know at some point on the trek he's gonna be like, I have a rash on my legs. So Enzo, this is for you. Blister items. Blisters are really the last thing. Blisters are worse than getting sick. You just don't want a blister. So here's my tips for blisters. Keep your feet dry. If your feet sweat a lot, you might want to change your socks out in the middle of the day. No shame in sweaty feet. Just make sure you take care of it because that moisture can cause blisters. Vaseline, like don't trek without this little tub of Vaseline. This can absolutely save you. Like this can bind with, some people really like to tape up their blisters. I really like to just rub Vaseline. As soon as I start feeling any kind of rubbing anywhere on my toes, my heels, under my foot, I stop immediately. I do not keep walking. The biggest mistake that you can make with blisters is thinking, well, once I get to the next town, I'll take my shoes off and then I'll treat this hot spot. It could be too late. Once that develops into a blister, you're gonna be in a world of pain. So treat that hot spot as soon as you get it. A hot spot just means there's a rubbing spot on your foot. When you take your shoe off, it'll probably even look red. So rub Vaseline on it or tape. Don't do both, it's not gonna work. But you could either put tape over it or rub Vaseline. The Vaseline will stop the friction. And in the terrible circumstance that you do get a blister, which it happens, Compeed is the best thing that I have found to put over that blister. It acts as a whole nother layer of skin. But make sure you read the directions really well, because if you go to try to peel this off, it's really, really stuck to your skin. So make sure that if it starts to peel off and come off, you can take it off. But if you do have that open wound blister, it might take some skin off with it. So be careful with the Compeed. Make sure you read the directions, but it can be a total lifesaver on the trail. Travel size deodorant, tweezers, and a nail clipper. These come in handy all the time. You might start hiking and realize that your toenails are too long. This is a very common occurrence. And then you need to cut those bad boys before you start getting a ton of pain in your toes. My hanky. If you have seen my YouTube channel and watched other videos that I've made, you know that I have this like unhealthy obsession with my handkerchief. I sound like an old man, but it comes in handy. I'm telling you, I don't need to justify it. It comes in handy. Take one with you. If you get the sniffles out there, or if you do catch a cold, it's so much easier to have a handkerchief with you than to keep having to reuse tissues and find somewhere to throw them away. You blow your nose on your handy dandy handkerchief, and then you wash it in the sink at night with your Dr. Bronner's soap at the Refugio. Hang it out to dry, and voila, the next day it is nice and dry and ready for you to use again. Speaking of drying things, I always bring a couple of safety pins and also a couple of these clothing pins, because if you do want to wash your socks or your undies or anything at night and then hang it out to dry, these can be helpful items for that. Let's talk about going to the bathroom. I get this question so much that it used to surprise me. It doesn't really anymore. People are concerned about where to go to the bathroom on the trail. The good thing about the Tour du Mont Blanc is that there are plenty of little towns and random refugios that you're passing by, that there's a good chance you may not need to actually go to the bathroom outside in nature. But if you do, these are the things you'll need to be prepared with. Men, this is often a lot easier for you, but ladies, this is a KUHL cloth. So this is a reusable antimicrobial pee cloth. KUHL cloth, K-U-L-A. I just got this adorable new one at REI. So this is for going number one, not number two. But what you're gonna do is when you pee outside in nature, you are going to open this up, use it as a wipe, close it back up, and then it hangs on the outside of your backpack so that it can dry a little bit. When you get to the Refugio at the end of the night, you're gonna wash that again with your Dr. Bronner soap, hang it out to dry, and it's all good to go again for the next day. I also always bring a pack of wet wipes with me, whether it's just for wiping my face off at the end of the night if I don't feel like taking a shower. Sometimes that happens. Maybe I'm a little gross, I don't care. But I always bring a pack of wet wipes as one of my bathroom items. Now, what happens if you have to take a number two in the outdoors? These are the things that you're gonna want to have with you. The first is an ultra lightweight trowel. You can get one even lighter weight than this one, but I was being cheap and I think I spent like $2 on this on Amazon. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow leave no trace principles. You can look that up on the internet, but basically you're going to not poop anywhere near a water source. So make sure that is step one. And then you are going to find your poo spot. You're gonna dig a hole. So you're gonna dig down into the dirt. You're going to poop in said hole, and then you're going to cover your poo up with your shovel. Shovel should not touch the poo. It should always stay pretty clean apart from the dirt. So that is how you're gonna poo outside. Now, as far as wiping, yes, we're gonna go there. The biggest thing to know with this is that you cannot leave your trash outside. If you go pee or if you go poo in nature and you leave that little piece of toilet paper there, No, 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 that's bad. We don't do that. We do not do that. We don't leave our trash out in nature, especially on really trafficked hikes like this, because you're gonna see other people's toilet paper and you're gonna be grossed out by it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have a bag with you, probably one of the grocery bags. Take some toilet paper, do your wiping, put it in that grocery bag, carry it with you until the next refugio, and throw it away in a proper trash can. There, we did it. We talked about poop. It wasn't that bad. Okay, we're on to our final category, which is documents and miscellaneous items. The most important thing that you can use to get on that airplane is your passport. Don't forget your passport. And I like to put my passport into a dry bag. You can also use just a plastic Ziploc bag. I'm just being fancy and I put it in this dry bag, and then I roll it up with my cash and anything else that is very important and needs to stay dry. And I keep it in the top of my backpack so that I have very easy access to it when I get to the refugios. It's also very easy to find when it's bright orange. Don't come after me stealing my stuff, because I'm telling you where I keep it. I also bring a wallet and my Charles Schwab debit card. This debit card is a traveler's best friend. If you travel a lot, get one of these. I mean, it's a free checking account to have, and you just open that account with the Charles Schwab Bank. It's an online bank. They refund all of your ATM fees at the end of the month. So let's say you're going to the ATM 3 or 4 times on your trip, and every time they're gonna charge 10, 15 euros, your bank's gonna charge a fee too. Charles Schwab is going to refund all of those fees at the end, so definitely something worth having. And my Chase Sapphire Reserve card. This is my fanciest credit card. It's one of those thick, heavy ones, and this gives me priority pass. So that means that I can access hundreds of airport lounges around the world. So I love having this card. It also has a huge sign-up bonus. If you're interested in this card, check the link in the description of the video. Euros. You're gonna wanna make sure you have some cash with you, because some of the transactions, some of the refugios will be cash only. So make sure that you visit an ATM in Chamonix before you start your trek and get a bunch of euros out. Pro tip, if you fly into Geneva, do not get money out of the ATM there, because you are going to end up with Swiss currency instead of euros. So wait until you get to Chamonix to pull euros out. I'm a little bit old school, so I print out all of my refugio reservations and highlight them and staple them, because I'm just cute like that. I'll go over a couple of electronics. I don't have a lot of electronics. Enzo carries our DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is what we use for recording most YouTube videos, but I pack pretty light as far as electronics, so I do take a spare battery. I really like this one from Amazon because it has the USB-C and also the iPhone port just attached to it. So it's really easy. I don't have to go digging around for a cord. And this one's pretty lightweight as well. AirPods, because I think this is the 3rd time I've mentioned the hills on the TMB, but sometimes to get up those hills, you just need to put in some music and just rock out. A converter. This is a converter from US to European style plugs from Amazon. I love it because it has a regular plug-in, but it also has USB and USB-C. My phone charger, and not featured, my phone. A quick note about your phone as a piece of gear. I recommend getting audiobooks, digital books to your phone. Another really cool feature with iPhone 14 and above, I have the iPhone 16, so I have this, is satellite. So instead of getting like a Garmin, InReach, those, you know, the emergency satellite devices that are like $400, you can use your iPhone as a satellite device now. I don't know if that's the right terminology for it, but look it up, Google it, how to do this, watch a YouTube video about it. You just take your phone outside, and if you have 0 cell service, you can connect it to a satellite, and you can contact emergency services, and you can also send messages to your friends and family to let them know that you need help or to let them know that you're doing okay. One last thing about the iPhone, I highly recommend downloading far out maps for the Tour du Mont Blanc. I used it back in 2022, and it was a total lifesaver for us to just be able to stay on trail and always know that we're on trail and not on some random variant. So while the TMB is pretty easy to follow and there's a lot of signage, make sure that you also have that far out map as a backup, and a paper map, which I don't have yet. I'm gonna get one in Chamonix, but have all of those maps so that you can make sure that you stay on trail and don't get super lost. Super optional item, but a deck of cards can often be really fun to just play some card games in the refugios. Snacks. I'm a total snack queen, and I would fill my whole backpack up with snacks if it wasn't super heavy. But I love taking chomps. These are very clean meat sticks. I got these at Trader Joe's, but they have them on Amazon. They have jalapeno and original chomps, protein bars. I got these at Trader Joe's also, but just take some protein heavy snacks with you. This is a massage ball to massage your sore feet or your hips at the end of the day. This is another one of those things that you're like, I don't need that, but then when I pull it out, you want it. So it's really lightweight and you'll be the most popular person in your group if you bring one. Electrolytes. These are so important. This is Element, LMNT. These have a ton of salt in them. I love salt, so I don't mind a salty beverage, and these are like one of the most popular ones on the market. I think they taste delicious. After a long, hot day on the trail, having a little something to put in your water is just so nice, and so it has sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These are 2 random little gear bags that I use just to put all this gear inside. So this fits a ton of stuff. I usually put like socks, underwear, bras, my swimsuit in a bag about this size. And then I could put my snacks and electrolytes and random gear items in a bag about this size. I have 2 final things to mention, and of course I am not taking these gigantic bottles with me on the TMB, but these are items that I very recently started using to stay healthy on my travels, because I used to get sick a lot when I traveled. I would fly, I would lose sleep, I would get dehydrated, and then when I got to wherever I was going, like last time we did the TMB, we went to Paris, I was sick the entire time in Paris, and I was sick the first couple days of the TMB too. It was awful. So what I do now, at the recommendation from a friend, is I take colostrum and vitamin C powder, and I start taking these a few days before I travel. I take them on my travel days, I take them when I am just getting to the country, and these did an amazing job of keeping me from getting sick. When we went to Asia earlier this year, that was the first time I had gone on an international flight without getting super sick in many years. So I highly recommend, put these in smaller bottles obviously, but I highly recommend vitamin C and colostrum. Again, I get these on Amazon and they're going to be linked below. So there you have it. That is everything that I am taking with me on the Tour du Mont Blanc. And if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy hiking, I highly recommend subscribing to our YouTube channel, because we have tons of awesome content that is always coming your way. Thanks for watching and happy trails.